Rising, the 2006 open-world zombie-slaying roguelike video game. I must admit it, I'm part of the zombie problem. I absolutely love zombie video games, and I gotta say, out of all the games I've played, I think Dead Rising is what I want the most out of a zombie game. Tons of mindless, brainless foes to just mow through, a showcase of weapons to choose from, and you know, since I like Dead Rising so much, and I've played it more times than I can count on one hand, maybe two, 7 times that was good, I am glad to play this one more time for its 10th birthday. Let's go to Willamette, everyone!
The story. You are one of the coolest video game characters of all time. Photojournalist Frank West. He's covered wars, you know. Anyway, he's got a hot tip that something is going down in Willamette, Colorado, and it is zombies. So Frank flies by and snaps a few photos and heads to the center of town and has Ed drop him off for 3 days. It's here that we meet the suave Latin American man named Carlito, and he murmurs a bunch of vague nonsense at me.
Almost as if everyone's already dead.
It's almost as if I'm not even trying to hide the fact that I'm a villain. What kind of accent is this? It's a bit of a Bible, it's a bit of an Italian.
So I head in the mall and find the lobby. The people of here have sealed off the outside world and mention zombies.
Zombies? Zombies? Zombies?
They ask me to help reinforce the doors, so I head to the back of the mall and get a good look at Dr. Barnaby. But shortly after that, the crazy old woman is looking for 1980s singer-songwriter Madonna and realizes that she's on the outside of the mall. So she goes to unlock the door and then manages to overpower 2 fully grown men. Thanks, Lindsay. Now we're all gonna die. Most people, when in this predicament, have to go through the 7 cycles of grief when confronted with their death. Well, either Valerie worked out some deep psychological issues quite quickly, or she's good at hiding her fear, because this is honestly the most laid back I have ever seen anyone in this situation. Well, I escaped, but the simple assumption is that everyone else was not as fortunate. Well, maybe everyone except Valerie. So they seal off the door and open up the vents if we want to go back into the mall. But not much time goes by before I gotta run some errands, and I gotta say this game suffers greatly from what I call Bethesda sickness. Great, phenomenal side quests! But as for the main story... But hey, I'm making a video, so I guess I'll do the story. But only because I like you. Well, the first mission is to back up Brad, who is fighting Carlito. I want to do a live-action bit here acting surprised, but it's not really worth it. But I am going to grab the most powerful weapon known to man, the King Salmon. Don't ask me how I discovered this, but on my first playthrough of the game, I realized that 3 hits from the fish sends Carlito straight to, well, not the grave, but the ceiling. Well, I did hit him with a fish, so I'll let you get away this time. Then Brad takes me around the story, and the only other reason I'd even consider doing this game's story is, unless you do this, these gates stay closed and the game becomes impossible. After that, I did the best part of this game, the side quests. There are 50 survivors in this mall, and I love saving these completely inept, brain-dead degenerates. Okay, their pathfinding is less than ideal, and the need to babysit them is cumbersome, especially in larger numbers. But the joy of saving people and learning how to convince each survivor to join you is a blast. The first little group I skip is Bill, Aaron, and Bert. And then I do Kent's photo challenges, and then it's off to save some more people. Like Sophie, this poor woman was being attacked by convicts who only redeeming quality is the song that plays as you fight them.
That is so stupid. I'm leaving it in.
And once I defeat them, I get Sophie as my girlfriend, I think. I mean, we held hands, so I'm pretty sure that counts as an engagement. After that, I get a quick call from Otis, and I gotta say, I hate Otis so much, but he wants me to save his friend. His poorly rendered friend. And I'll do it, but not for Otis, but for the most important thing in this game. Greg. Greg gets you a 100% necessary shortcut and the best weapon in the game. But to get it, you need to beat...
Clowns.
And that won't be any fun at all!
Clowns.
Adam is a tough fight, but I'll gladly take him down to make sure every other fight in the game is a breeze. Oh, and for Greg's shortcut. After that, I grab my reward, Greg, the 2 Japanese tourists, and Dave, which makes me untouchable. Seriously, lending someone a shoulder, getting a piggyback ride, or holding someone's hand is a huge help because there is no animation for getting grabbed. Back off, zombies! I've got a Dave! After that, we've got a rematch with old Carlito, but, you know, a few swings of the fish and he's down. But not actually, because this game is super cheap. In the cutscenes, people are mortal. Seriously, in the game we can take high-powered sniper rounds, but in a cutscene, these pistols can do serious long-term damage. And so for that, Brad and Carlito are worse for wear. But now, all the gates are open, so I guess I can stop doing the storyline. Nah, I'll keep going, because the next boss is Steven.
This is my store!
This guy is actually my favorite of all Dead Rising bosses. He actually brings up some really good points, and he's a good hard worker. After I defeat him, I save Isabella. Hello, my damsel in distress. My name's Frank. I've covered wars, you know. Okay. Well, then I get the medicine, and on my way back to the safe room, I save Pamela from a frick ton of zombies. After that, I go and find an old Vietnam War vet. Private Frank West, sir! I've covered wars, you know. Just kidding, Frank stands completely still until it's time to fight. And this is a pretty cool fight. Just a man and his machete. And bombs! Afterwards, he realizes that he was suffering from PTSD.
The war... it wasn't over.
And then the game makes subtle commentary on how we treat veterans and mental health issues in this country. No, hold on, that's John Oliver. Sorry, I get the two confused all the time. After that, I save an obese man from, and I love the name of this shop, by the way, Jill Sandwiches. This game was made by Capcom, the same developer that made the Resident Evil series.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
After that, the main character saw Isabella on the security cameras, so I went and found her, and then we had the fairest fight in the entire world. This is one of the problems with Dead Rising bosses. Either they attack so quickly that you die before you can do anything and you need to use the best weapon in the game to beat them, but then you use that weapon and they're too easy. See, 2 hits and Isabella's down. Hey Isabella, what you doing? Basically, I tell her that I'm a reporter, and then she explains that this whole zombie thing is an act of terrorism for the murders that happened to her people. And she and her brother Carlito are sending a message, but hey, a reporter's a pretty way to get the whole story out there. So she tells me that she'll go get her brother Carlito, and she'll give me the whole story at midnight, giving me time to do side quests! Like saving Wayne from these hunters. There's one thing that always bothered me about this. See, Roger brought his sons out to the mall for some good old father and son bonding time, aka hunting zombies and humans. Now his boy Jack is all about the killing, but Thomas is much more hesitant. I hate that when you kill the 2 true psychopaths, Thomas is still out for blood. Maybe the horrified screams he let out when you kill his family is part of it. You know what? I'm just gonna let him live. He ain't hurting no one. Oh, you just messed up, boy. So after that, I fight this very disturbing boss, Joe. Boom, dead. Then I save a bunch of people, just in time to meet Isabella. Now, she thought she could convince Carlito to sit down for an interview, but all she convinced him to do was to put a bullet in her. So I carry her back to the safe room, then yada yada yada, Barnaby turns into a zombie and gets shot by Brad, you know, normal stuff. Now I get to take on the cult leader and Paul the arsonist. And here's something I did not know about Paul. After you defeat him, he drops a Molotov cocktail somewhere you really don't want to drop a Molotov cocktail. I was gonna put a bullet into him to end his suffering, but then I realized he has a health bar. I can save him! Why don't you allow that, Thomas? Well, after that we get more storyline, and Carlito is about to blow up the mall. Now, the annoying thing about this quest is that it starts at 11, but I need to meet Kent at 12 to save this one other dude. We don't have any time for this! There are bombs, Kent! Fine, whatever. Kill the kid, save the guy, save the girl. And this is actually the very last group of survivors you get to save, but I think I'll do the storyline because, you know, bombs. Now I'm on bomb control. There I go, got one. Now where to next? What's... Hold on. What's that? So I give Carlito a nice little love tap, and then he runs out of bullets and he runs away, so I have enough time to get rid of the bombs. And since I defeated Carlito fair and square in combat, he kills Brad. Well, stabs him and then has him facing a zombie horde. Okay, there's a lot of them. But Brad, I have faith in you. After that, I took Isabella to Carlito's hideout so she can get me some more information to report on, and then I get another call! Gotta go all the way back to the security room. And then, look at that! Carlito has really gotten himself into a pickle this time, hasn't he? So I go down to the guy, and he tells me that zombie meat is no good, but if I just sit tight real quick, he'll make Carlito into some of the best ground meat I've ever had. Alright, let's fight. Well, actually, Larry's just standing there. I'm not going to attack a pacifist. Of course, on the other hand, Carlito was really mean to me, and I'm getting a little sick of all the orange juice I've had to drink throughout this adventure. Alright, Larry, juice him!
Juice! Who's got the juice?
And just like that, poof! The truth vanishes into the darkness. Like a candle in the wind.
And I don't really care either. Here's the thing, I've done the fun part of the game. If I save Carlito, I add a bunch of time to the game, and there's no more survivors left to rescue. The mall will get flooded with chemicals that make the zombies no fun to fight, and then I'll have to do a huge fetch quest. And if I save him, Jesse and Ed will die. So with Carlito's death, I just go wait on the helipad and everyone gets saved. Wait, helicopters can only fit 5 people max. We have about 50. Whatever. There's plenty of other logical problems in this game. No need to let it get hung up on this.
So, that's Dead Rising. I may not have gotten the truest of true endings, but I did get the funnest of fun playthroughs. I absolutely love this game, and just a quick brag real quick, I gotta show you. I got this. I got the Zombie Genocider achievement for killing all of the zombies. Also, I'd suggest, I love this game. I cannot suggest it enough. Go to your used game store to find it, pick it up. It costs next to nothing. In fact, they just released it on Steam for the 10-year anniversary. Just buy it, play it, love it, save the survivors, kill Otis. I don't think you can. You can in infinite mode. I don't have that. Adios.